Hi everyone, welcome to your holiday alchemy scope. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency. Let's take a look at the stories playing out now. Hi everyone. So let's take a look at the macro cycle, the energy set, or the story that's imbuing the field for all of us at this time. The new moon in Sagittarius occurred on December 11th, and it occurred at 19 degrees Sagittarius. The Sabian symbol that is aligned with that degree point is, in an old-fashioned northern village, men cut the ice of a frozen pond for use during the summer. I love this symbol because for me what this is talking about is preparation. It's an optimistic view and a preparation for the future ahead, brighter days ahead. Now, if we move on to the Christmas full moon, I added that to this scope because I'm posting these late. It's a fascinating one. It's very appropriate for the astrological events that are aligned. A cat arguing with a mouse is going to be the Sabian symbol that is imbued at the full moon point of 3 degrees Cancer on Christmas Day. And interestingly, there is an opposition on Christmas Day between Mars in Libra, which is relationships, and Uranus in Aries, which is I, me, mine. So this is going to be an interesting dynamic between action of harmony in relationships and the sudden impetus for action of the self. And a lot of people are gathering with family over the course of this holiday season, and particularly on this day. So let's hold it all lightly and understand that there's a bigger cycle playing out, and there's a way to be responsible for our own thoughts and own actions as we navigate this dynamic, a cat arguing with a mouse Christmas Day. Aquarius. So let's move on to your I Ching hexagram that came forward to reflect your microcycle, the energy set that is activated for you over the course of this chapter of time. You received number 39, temporary obstacles. The two trigrams that make up this particular hexagram are water above, mountain below. In the course of trying to reach a goal or fulfill an ambition, obstacles, difficulties, and setbacks can present themselves. When eventually overcome, these always become assets. Without irritating grains of sand, oysters would never make pearls. Without air resistance, no plane would ever fly. When a large boulder falls in the road, the best course of action is to go around it rather than try and move it. Temporary obstacles must be seen for what they are, temporary, and should not be allowed to take on too much significance. They serve function. A positive aspect of even the most difficult obstacle is that it causes a person to turn inward and gain greater depth of character and self-knowledge. While some bemoan the situation and seek to blame their problems on others, the wise seek the cause of the problem within themselves. Through this type of introspection, obstacles become a means for personal growth and self-discovery. If you are experiencing temporary obstacles, do not be concerned. Obstacles are part of achieving every goal and furthering every undertaking. Aquarius, welcome to your holiday alchemy scope. So this is running from our Sagittarius December 11th new moon to our January 9th Capricorn new moon. So I am posting these late, but catching it at this holiday juncture. So this is filling in this kind of time frame between the December and the January alchemy scope. So let's get started. I've already shuffled. I'm using my Siri deck, and I'll pull a synchronic spread. We will do as I've done in previous months and go ahead and pull 3 different archetype cards and have you intuit the one that's calling you the most, and that'll be your main maturation quality. What is calling to be matured in you at this time? And then we'll pull an enchanted map card by Colette Baron Reed. Fabulous. Okay, so let's get started. Well, you're getting the movement card like another sign. You know, it's interesting. I will tell you this, Aquarius, that when I was shuffling, there's typically a particular sensation I get in my wrist, in my hand and in my wrist, when the spread is complete. And for this one, I did get a sensation, but it was an achy sensation. It was painful. It was annoying. There was an itch, and there was an ache. And that's telling me that there's something achy, something that doesn't feel quite right for you during this cycle, okay? And it's interesting because this is a relatively simple spread. So let me tell you what's coming up. I'll show you the cards. I realize, by the way, that the angle is not ideal, but in order to get the lighting and just to have it be more atmospheric, I chose to do it this way. But I'll lift up the card so you'll see everything. At the center of the spread, the main theme coming up for at least a majority of Aquarius-centric people out there. This is a time of uncertainty. You're not sure which direction to go. And it looks like it's in particular with a project. This could be a creative or a work project. You're not sure about your path. You're not sure about where to go. But your thoughts are on one or many projects. And it could be, typically this is referring to either a business project or a creative project, Aquarius. But there's something about, it could be that you're desiring more outlet, more work, but maybe right now there's not a lot happening for you. So there's a limitation in, I don't know, what's happening with this project. You're not sure. And you're not sure because there's not a lot of feedback or not a lot of clients or not a lot of feedback from, I want to say clients, but feedback that is giving you response to your projects. You're either singular project or multiple projects, that you're uncertain. You're in this mode of not knowing maybe what to do at this point. I mean, there is a feeling for you, though, of happiness and joy. So for some of you, this came up in the emotional sector. So it could be that this project, Aquarius, for some of you feels celebratory. It feels good. It's perhaps for some of you following your bliss. And that feels good. But there's movement happening now. There's shifts happening with this project. And that's creating the uncertainty. So it looks like at this time, during this portal of time, during this chapter, that there are shifts going on with, again, this business or creative project. This could be, by the way, like for some of you, it could be a neighborhood project, some sort of an environmental project, a project that's involving others, like you're in and amongst a network of people. But maybe, Aquarius, what was not manifesting, or what started small, is now shifting. Movement is happening there. And it's creating uncertainty, perhaps with the celebratory aspect. So it could be that, for example, like in this card, there are 6 people identified in this card. I think it's 6. Yeah. There's 6 people. One is in the far back. 6 people and a dog. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it could be that for some of you out there, there is a project that started small. It started small, okay? But now, and it was joyful in its smallness, that there was delight and intimacy in the project's smallness. But it could be that now, suddenly, maybe there's an influx of movement. You know, for some of you, it could be, you know, a business that is like a startup that's starting to get wings. Notice all the birds in this image too. So it could be that for some of you during this time frame, that there is movement, and the celebratory aspect is shifting and changing with the growth of this creative or business project, or the business itself. Like I said, if it is for some of you, this is obviously a general spread. It's not going to apply to everybody, but it could be that because there's an influx of energy, of movement, of dynamics happening, and what was small and intimate and delicious with a small group is now growing. You know, it could be that there's major growth happening with this project. I think that is instigating some uncertainty about, you know, how it is growing, how it is unfolding, what maybe even what your role in it will end up being. So just go with that flow. We're going to pull the other cards, and there'll be more information that you'll ascertain from those. But it could very well be that you're needing to be in it and go with the flow with this influx of energy into this project. Interesting that. Okay, Aquarius. So let's go ahead and pull, this is Carolyn Miss's Archetype card deck. And we're going to go ahead and pull 3 cards. And have you tap into one of them. Aquarius. Okay, so there's card 1. Card 2. That group is not, we're not going to pull that. Okay, so Aquarius, go ahead and tune in to one of those cards. See where your eye goes. See which one brings you a sense of expansion, and that will be the one for you. And now, this is Colette Baron Reed's Enchanted Map deck. Fabulous deck. Highly resonant I am with this deck, and with Colette Baron Reed, her writing, her way of articulating, her way of thinking. And let's see. And she works with reversals that are very distinct. So let's see what comes up for you. This will be a combination of additional theme for the story that's playing out, as well as guidance. Okay. Aquarius, what's coming? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. So Aquarius, you're receiving, this is number 23, Golden Palace. Now, this just came up for another sign. These cards are well shuffled. And they're also, this one also goes through a reversal process as well. So, this is interesting. I mean, when these cards come up multiple times, I'm only doing these for 12 signs. And that's a 54 card deck. So, when a card repeats, when a message repeats, when guidance repeats for 2 out of 12 signs, it's a big deal, because what that's saying is it is kind of a macro cycle. So Golden Palace came up, I think it was for Capricorn. I think. It could have been Sagittarius, but I think it was Capricorn. So beautiful. So let's read from the book, and we'll tap in and we'll see what this is bringing up, because this will resonate for those of you out there that are open. You're going to resonate very easily, I think, with this. So let me adjust myself here. Okay. So number 23, Golden Palace. That's both thematic and guidance. So Aquarius, Golden Palace, this card is about there is always enough. Upright. The Golden Palace card represents good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth, and prosperity. It may also indicate emotional fulfillment, as perhaps you're entering a time of happiness that's long overdue. Now keep in mind, you had that celebration card that was up. So the message here is that self-worth isn't measured by what you have, no matter how abundant your life is. Instead, it comes from what you are, how authentically you're living your life, and how much love you're willing to share. Granted, receiving this card does indicate material gain and furthering of tangible rewards, but things come and go, and knowing your true value leads to even greater riches now. Share the wealth. Now, very evidently, if in fact that spread was referring to a project that started small that's now growing, this is about keeping your wits about you, keeping grounded about where you apply your value. Because for some of you out there, it could be that this, let's say it's a startup. I keep wanting to say that, and I've not said that for any alchemy scope ever. So let's say for some of you out there, there's a startup, some creative project that's now blossoming into a business, and more people are involved, and maybe there are investors, and maybe there's money now flourishing or beginning to flourish, or there's the potential for money to flourish. Fabulous. However, this card is saying stay grounded and keep your mind holistically oriented on the value of all things, the abundance in all ways, not just the money. Wow, amazing. So, Aquarius, go ahead and tap in. So, if you picked the far left card, wow, Gambler is coming up. Gambler. This is about taking risks. So, this is about, Aquarius, if you selected this card, your higher self is asking you to mature out of relying on luck rather than hard work, and evolve it into a willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. This is very much tied to creative venture as well. Really trusting your gut, trusting that bliss that is pulling you into a new direction, a larger direction, an expanded direction. Beautiful. But it's also about doing the work, isn't it? You know, not getting too lazy. Beautiful. So, wow, Aquarius. So if you pick the center card, you're receiving Alchemist. This is about turning base motives into gold, about aligning with a deeper integrity. So what Miss writes here is about evolving out of misuse of power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice and moving it into transformation of base motives and goals into gold, into golden wisdom. It's about integrity. Deep spiritual process, bringing out the highest frequency manifestation of that which you are as a being, but also that which you're working on, that which is a reflection of your being. Wow, beautiful. You're receiving some amazing cards tonight. Hermit, if you pick the far right card, your growth edge, your maturity is Hermit. This is about evolving out of withdrawing from society, out of fear or negative judgments of others, and refusing to help those in need, and evolving it into seeking solitude to focus intently on your inner life, serving personal creativity. Amazing. If you pick this card, and if that spread resonated for you, this card is asking you to mature your practice, your discipline about connecting to your inner self and really opening up the tap to the well of creative insights and information that come through your connection to Source, which is within. Very powerful, this reading for you. Beautiful. Aquarius, wow. So let's move on to your Dakini and see what's coming up there for you. Aquarius, so we're here at the final component of your alchemy scope this month, and this is where I pull up the Dakini Goddess using Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle to bring forward the optimal embodiment for you over the course of this cycle to walk through with least effort and maximal flow. You received number 15, Creatrix. From the air of consciousness, the fire of inspiration comes and is replicated in the world as inspirational fire of the artist. I'm going to do what I've done in previous months. I'm going to read two components from Penny Slinger's expanded write-up on Creatrix. The first is the transmission, and the second is the affirmation. The transmission for Creatrix for you, Aquarius, is this. My bliss is in seeing the visions of light. To express them in form, I take my delight. This inner fire burns day and night. I'm ever aflame with this wondrous insight. The affirmation, Aquarius, is this. All creation flows through me. There is nothing in the way. I am an empty vessel, open to infinite potential. I can repaint my life. It's a very powerful Dakini, Aquarius, so please drink that in. I am wishing you a beautiful holiday season. You can look into my services for several options for last-minute gifts or for New Year's gifts for people, or for yourself. So until soon, I'm sending love. Bye.